players getting reacquainted prior to the tip. Pretty now a chance to check out tonight's starting lineups. First for the Warriors, Steph Curry's out there with Houdini. And at the pivot, a terrific defender and all-around player, the Australian sensation, 7-footer, Andrew Bogut. And there's Iguodala. And it's Lee in at the 4 slot. And for the Heat, the natural out there with Dwayne Wade. And playing at the 5, the always firm James. And it's Battier in at the 4.
The Warriors were able to get back to the postseason for the first time since the We Believe season in 07 when they knocked off the Dallas Mavericks as an 8 seed. They didn't finish. Throw down.
Man, that was unreal.
Mark it up. Hang time on that rim. Puts a little whipped cream on that angel food cake there.
It's a tight ball game, and those displays of strength, Clark, can get one team rolling.
Agreed.
Oh, boy. Whipped cream, cherry on top. It always comes back to dessert for Clark.
Curry is inside. Wade is covering, and the natural is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
That's a quick foul to pick up here in the opening quarter. What not to do on those last 2 possessions. I mean, they're being way too casual with the ball.
Yeah, it's going to cost them if they keep it up. They need to get back to playing efficient basketball.
You know, Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra worked his way up from the very bottom in that organization. I mean, he got his start as a video coordinator, and through years of hard work and dedication, has really become an outstanding coach.
And back to Coach Eric Spoelstra as a guy who got his start as a video coordinator, picking the game apart. Steve, he's very comfortable with the new advanced stat movement, analytics in the NBA.
Yeah, and I've had a chance to speak with him quite a bit. He says that the way they use advanced stats is just as a conversation piece in the coaching room. Their analytics department will bring them various information, and it will force them to ask questions, which is very healthy for a coaching staff to do.
Here's Bogut. Nice D from Bosch. The Heat have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Wade sinks that one from the post.
It's kind of his strong suit, the ability to find his way through the defense and finish at the rim.
Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Eric Spoelstra. And what'd you find out, Doris?
He told me he's a fan of Andre Iguodala, especially the way he's developed his outside shot. He said that was one weakness. He could do everything else, pass, handle, and finish. And boy, what a defender. But now that he's developed that jump shot, there are really no weaknesses in his game. Guys, that makes it awfully tough to deal with a guy who can impact the game in that many ways. Back to you.
Thanks, Doris. Here's the natural. The teardrop falls in.
What a finish with that hoop.
First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in.
Talk about the definition of a role player, guys. What the perfect role player should look like, I think it's Shane Battier. I mean, pretty good rate, smart, good passer. Just the epitome of what you want in a role player.
Wade passes to the natural. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade. The natural's got 5.
Well, he's a spot-up shooter, one of the best. One of those guys who, if you give him an inch, I mean, that's all it takes. He will let it fly and frequently knock down that shot.
You know, Steve, something else that jumps out at me about him is how often he thwarts penetration with his active hand. He gets a lot of his steals as players try to make their way to the basket.
And so it's Golden State with it. 8-point game. And, you know, you talk about Battier. He knows how to play his role. He doesn't try to do too much.
Yeah, he's got a great basketball IQ, understands angles and percentages, seems to be able to guard about 3 different positions, and a terrific weak side defender. He's always the guy there waiting to take a charge.
Lee kicks to Utah. First quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes in. And a great job by the D contesting that shot and forcing the miss. The offensive rebound. Here's Wade. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two. They get Andre Iguodala.
And the offense just getting right to the rim. But at least they saved the layup with the foul.
That's old school basketball rules. I mean, at the end of the day, no easy layup. Earn it from the line.
And the Warriors making a change here. Ezeli's checked in for Bogut. Draymond Green comes in for David Lee. Harrison Barnes, he's checked in for Andre Iguodala. And it's Klay Thompson in for Houdini.
You know, one of the things about the Heat since the Big Three has come together is that they've been able to find the right kinds of veteran players to step in and fill specific roles for this team. And we have the benefit of replay, but I think they got that one right, which is the case most times, even though fans don't think so.
And the Heat making a change here. Haslam's checked in. There it is, guys, that Olay defense. Just watching him go, Clark, right by.
I think we might be seeing which team is ready to take control of this game.
Yeah, that's a dunk that could absolutely get them going. I agree, Clark.
And it's easy to have players want to join the Heat when they're competing for an NBA title every season. But, Steve, even then, they find the ones that most fit their offensive and defensive philosophy, and that's when they're going to come up big for them.
Yeah, for sure. This team has done such a good job putting together this roster around LeBron and Wade. You think about Birdman in the playoffs last year, you know, Battier coming in here as a stretch four. They just found the right players and the right mix, and that's one of the big reasons why this team is back-to-back NBA champs.
Miami leading by 3. Chalmers with it. Now guarded by Ezeli. Chalmers, it's good from Barnes on the assist by Thompson.
That's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle much more effectively.
Yeah, and until they do, the problems inside are only going to get worse.
Chalmers dishes to Oden, using his post move to get the 2 points. Oden's got his first 2 points. Warriors trail by 3. He feeds it to Green. The dish to Ezeli. They kick it out to Green. There's the pass to Douglas. Knocked loose. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Golden State needs to get off a shot. Thompson misses. Miami's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Chalmers passed to Allen. Foul call. Looked like the D didn't get there in time, and he'll shoot free throws. The Heat shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Well, this is a club that shot 75% as a team from the free throw line last season.
And Allen drops them both.
You know, he's as close to a sure thing as you can possibly have when he steps to the line.
Here's Barnes. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
Rising high to throw that one down.
Sky high. Fantastic one-hand jam.
Yeah, what a way to wrap up that possession.
A nice first quarter of play. We've seen plenty of offense so far. Miami ahead. And off we go. A close game now starting the second quarter. And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach so far that we've seen for the Heat?
It looks like they're ready to run, fellas. I mean, they haven't hesitated at all to get out on the break so far.
And the other thing they're doing is forcing a lot of turnovers, and that's helping them to get easy points at the other end.
And Harrison Barnes, a rookie last season out of North Carolina, guys. He started as small forward for the Warriors from day one. I mean, a pretty impressive accomplishment on a playoff contending team.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Guys, the Warriors aggressively pursuing top talent this summer. They surprised many as strong contenders for Dwight Howard and did end up with an all-star acquisition in Andre Iguodala. He gives them an elite perimeter defender who can also create offense for them in a point-forward role. And with their shooters, a great fit for his talents. This is a team not content to rest on its laurels, but constantly in hot pursuit of the best players in the game.
Such a terrific turnaround. Thanks, Doris. LeBron, he's checked in for the Heat. The natural comes in for Ray Allen. And Clark, you just talked about Harrison Barnes last season. the Warriors' youngest opening night starter, Steve, since 1995.
Yeah, he was solid, not spectacular early, but you knew what you were going to get from him defensively. He was a good spot-up shooter, but as the season wore on, Kev, he seemed to get more and more aggressive offensively, and he expanded his game.
And you know why he was open there. They didn't commit too much defense to him, and you can see why. He has trouble making that shot.
And finished off by LeBron.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Yeah, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
While not as dominant on defense as they were a year before, the Heat still were tough at that end of the court. The thing is, you could see them turn it on and turn it off when they needed to defensively, so they always managed to get the key stop when they needed it.
Iguodala against LeBron to stop the run. Iguodala no good. The Heat leading by 8. And when you're coming off a title like the Heat are, there is a natural tendency to cruise. But Clark, you said this, and Steve, I'm sure you want to comment on it. They can turn it up in a hurry.
Well, there's just so much athleticism on this team that if they want to pressure you in the half court, they usually can force turnovers. And if not, they can also sit back and play a more straight-up defensive style and be very effective that way as well.
Here's LeBron. Nice hit again. And the layup is good. LeBron's got 4 this quarter.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Now, you got to make a defensive adjustment here, Clark. Time to collapse inside, force the ball back out to the perimeter, make them beat you from long range.
And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Here's Udoh. And he uses the glass on the layup. Udoh's got 5 now.
That's just run-of-the-mill for him. A typical day at the office. He's one of the more skilled offensive players out there.
LeBron drives in. Out to Wade. LeBron outside. Back to Wade. Nice D from Bogut.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Udoh kicks to Curry. Here is Udoh. Wade is covering, and it's out of bounds. The Heat will take it the other way. The Heat leading by 8. Bogut with the block. Bosh dishes to Wade. Another miss by Wade.
He just has not been able to get into that groove yet, guys, but as a whole, it hasn't affected them too much.
And there's the call on James. That is his first foul of the game.
Looked to me like the defender didn't get squared up and get his feet set.
Good work by the officials. A nice call. That play can be tough to judge sometimes. You know, Steve, as I watch Steph Curry go at it on the court, I imagine you might have a love-hate relationship with him. You love to watch him play, but you hate that he has a very good chance of making a run at your record of the best three-point shooting percentage over a career.
Wade passes the Bosh, and it is flushed down with a nice jam. Doug Clark, a clear lane to the basket, and the emphatic jam.
And that is outstanding attacking basketball.
Well, he had no choice but to take that one to the bucket.
And Clark, you mentioned the three-point shooting for Curry last season. He set the records for three-pointers made in a season, passing Ray Allen's mark, Steve, of 269 by 3.
Well, just incredible to see how easily he gets into that shot. I think there's a lot of spot-up shooters who can make a high percentage, but for players like Curry, I mean, it's remarkable. Off the dribble, on the move, the quick pull-up from 26, 27 feet. I mean, he's doing things that I don't know we've ever seen before.
And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, gentlemen, an impressive defense defensive turnaround for the Golden State Warriors last season under head coach Mark Jackson. Jackson said, quote, "You don't stumble into being a very good defensive team. It comes through repetition and drilling it. I've got a great group that totally buys in and is committed." Guys, he's reshaped the identity of this ball club, and the players have responded.
Well, Doris, he's really talked a lot about changing the culture. Another example there.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
And the crowd immediately letting the officials have it after that whistle.
A very unpopular call there. And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now.
Clark, there is a swagger out here on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
That's right.
Those are phenomenal dunks to watch. So much fun.
Here's Udo, and that is good. Udo's got 9 points.
Well, the number one priority for a defense when you face this guy is to keep him getting anywhere from the basket because he's just so strong as a finisher.
And, you know, he is an extremely skilled player. I mean, he's got a great pull-up jumper as well, Steve.
And that one's good by Bosch.
And they're beginning to fall apart a little bit defensively, especially inside.
Well, that's 4 straight buckets now at the rim.
Here's Curry with the 3, and another 3 for Golden State.
Boy, they're knocking down the long-range shots. A lot of those same shots they missed earlier in the first quarter. They still find themselves down here. They're starting to make some headway into that deficit.
Here's the net.
Unbelievable.
Do that.
Hard, high, and strong. Give it up.
Their bench just erupts at that one. They loved it.
Slick. That was just amazing to watch.
And it's the Warriors with the ball. They trail by 6.